Go ahead and start that up, passing like the damn relay. You forgot your place, now we in your face, it's time to play. It's TGI Now time, back again in the K420 studio discussing real authentic truth talk, freedom of speech, and living in the now. Freeing your mind.
One episode at a time.
Shit, we trying.
Boom.
There we are. There's just me. Oh, there's Eddie. Now you're there. There you go.
Yeah, I needed to move the mic.
Yeah, I got a little bit of remodeling going on at the house here. So I got a lot of stuff, a lot going on.
We got a lot going on.
So
So do I, bro. 100.
We got the AC though, so we're good. So we're real cool.
So
Dell's not here yet.
Not here yet. I mean, he's becoming a late comer. Not normally like him. I'm normally the one that's late.
Yeah, we didn't want to leave anybody.
Yeah. So
Waiting around.
Yeah, we just don't want to keep people waiting.
Yeah, so we got you.
So what's up, John? How's your week been so far,
Everything's
bro?
good. Everything's good. Just like I said, I got a lot going on here with the house and all this shit. So it's one thing after another.
Laws changed with CBD, as you know.
Yeah.
Because you're a distributor as well.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck, bro, they've been hitting stores and taking all their merchandise, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, so it's almost like Gestapo.
Yeah.
Serious.
Well, it's fucking, it's like Monopoly. They wanted to take it over, and
Well, you know who did that, right? Big Pharma, because all that money that Truly put into that bill to try to get legalized weed,
yeah,
is so they could get all the recreational dispensaries. They wanted to shut us down, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They changing laws and everything else with the flower, and it's just making it really hard for us to get into. So I'm thinking about I'm going to move. Obviously, I got to move. That the rent there is too high.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not going to be doing CBD anymore. I'll probably be doing vitamins or something like that.
Yeah.
But I got to do something. Just like I said, like you said, it's just this fucking a lot of shit going on.
Well, it's a lot of all these regulations, all this legislation, and all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit. That's what I mean.
Shit,
yeah,
man.
they don't leave nobody alone. They want to come in and take your revenue and squash your business. I know things are going to get better because we talked about this when we talked about the new earth and the new frequency that we're embodying and what we're pulling at and what we're trying to pull into our reality from. It starts with us. So things are going to get better, but we have to do it from within instead of looking outside ourselves, like the big beautiful bill and all these things. It's like, it's going to be great and all, but I got to see something happening.
Yeah, it goes back to Glazer's theory, where he says everything we do, think, or feel is our best attempt at the time to satisfy powerful forces within ourselves. If we're controlled by outside forces, we embrace slavery and neglect responsibility.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So, Glazer wrote that. He's a behavioralist. When I was in college, I learned it. But the point is that, if we allow outside things, outside forces to control us, because that's what they are, they're forces. Because you really can't blame people. It's just, like the Bible says that, our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual things, evil forces that are working against us to try to bring us down. But we have to stand up and with faith, and just, continue. Like you spoke about a new earth, how we have to change within ourselves. Like we can't allow the outside forces to, come inside and affect us. Exactly. We have to leave them outside and say, listen, I'm not going to let this affect me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm going to just continue to focus within, build myself up within. This way, these outside forces don't penetrate as hard.
Exactly.
You understand?
100%.
Because you become vulnerable and you become like you have no shield, and boom, the attack comes. You're like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And
that's the choice.
It's a choice. So you have to always be on your guard, be on that frequency, because part of vigilance is being, we have to watch out, for the things, those forces that are working against us.
Yeah.
So we always have to be vigilant. So therefore, we must remain strong within ourselves. This way, we have to stay in a high frequency. Sometimes we get so high in a frequency that the low frequency can't even touch us.
Well, that's exactly what the chart says. That's what the chart I was just showing. Yeah, it shows you exactly that. The two are splitting, and so there's fear, division, anger, control, hatred, AI, all that other crap. And then you got love, unity, peace, freedom, healing, consciousness, 5D Earth. There's it's a split, like I always say, it's a split of the two worlds. That's what you're witnessing.
But again, the Bible does describe it as two separate places, like a new earth and a new Jerusalem. But the videotape we're going to show when Rondell gets in is going to be more of within ourselves, like I just spoke about. Like I even got some scripture pulled up just to show how for we no longer live, for it's Christ that lives in us, for whatever that force is that lives in us, that gives us the power to move, to just not allow the outside forces, those evil forces, to affect us.
Exactly. No,
but they do. Sometimes you can't help it, even though the shield is up and the arrows hit. Even like if you had a bulletproof vest and I shot you, it's not going to kill you, but you're going to feel the impact.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what's happening.
You're right. Well,
you still feel the impact, even though you're protected by Teflon.
Exactly. There's Dolores Cannon. She talks about this a lot. It's a good little quote we could play. She breaks it down real quick.
Always get the blame for everything. God doesn't do it. We do it to ourselves. You got to remember, you are not a body. You have a body. This is just a costume, a suit of clothes you're wearing right now to play this part. Earth is nothing but a school. You go through the different grades and learn lessons in order to progress onward. But one of the major things with this school on Earth is when you come in, the veil comes down and you forget your plan. You forget your connections. You come here, you come prepared to really learn a lot, and it's very, very difficult. Not everybody chooses to come here.
We choose it, like I told you before. Like we choose to come here, but then we forget who we are. We forget.
Is it really a choice? We were birthed.
Well, we're birthed, but we have it. We're a conscious being. We're energy. So we have the choice to come to this physical. See, it's a privilege to be in this physical body. When we go back to source and go back to God, we leave this physical body. Like she said, this is just
going to our celestial bodies, as the Bible speaks.
I know, but what's happening now is that our celestial bodies are incarnating on this earth.
But she said something that this here to me is like almost like a testing ground.
Yes.
Like this is just
it's a school.
It's a school.
Yeah.
We're here to learn. We're here to go through our challenges. Because we all go through challenges. And go through our challenges, and how we overcome those challenges tells us the man or the woman that we are.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. And that only comes from mental toughness and from being tough within. You have to be tough within. You know what I mean? You have to. You have to be like Teflon. It's gonna hit you and it's gonna impact. Yeah. But it's not gonna kill you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're gonna fucking just say, okay. You know what I mean? I'll deal with the fucking black and blue for a while.
Well, because you have to push through it.
That's it.
It's not a breakout. It's a breakthrough. You break through to the other side. You break through to the new frequency. That's what it is. It's a new frequency that's being and then she talks about, there's other video that I have too. She talks about that the earth is shifting with us. So we're going with her whether we like it or not. Like we're going, the earth is shifting. It's a living being.
Well, what was the date that you gave? October what?
Or what date?
No. You had said that the people that could have changed the bad vibrational people, the evil people. It was September 25th, 2 years ago. Yeah, that was like the deadline. Right. That was like that's when they had the opportunity to make a choice. Yes. And what happened to a lot of those people is that they're stuck. Yeah, exactly. They can't get out of it because, see, it's almost like something that passes. And you have to catch it, Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You have to catch it. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't catch it. You know what I mean? And they stay asleep, like in the video we're going to play in a little bit. If they decide to stay in that old frequency and stay asleep, they had the chance to
whatever they were doing nefarious, if they were doing shady shit, the IRS, or they were doing this type of job, or they were scamming people or whatever, they had a chance to repent, to basically be a whistleblower and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. But once that deadline passed, it's over. That's too late. And that's where you're seeing a lot of these people that think they're going to get away with all this stuff, all these mayors and all these governors and all this stuff that they're letting the cities burn. They think they're getting away with it. They're not going to get away with it this time. They don't get away with it. Evil gets eradicated off the planet at some point, and whether we see it or not, it's going to happen. You know.
But you do know that we all have this. You know, I go back to the old Indian saying, you know, there is two wolves that live inside of us.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, the good wolf and the bad wolf. Now they say which one lives. Well, which one is stronger is the one that you feed.
Exactly.
So if you feed the good wolf, the bad wolf will eventually be weak, but will it die? See, that's always been a question for me, because we all have evil inside of us. You know, I mean, we're born in sin. The Bible says that we are born in sin, but we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So there is no one righteous, not even one. So if we know that sin is evil, we have evil that lives in us. In the book of Romans 14, he says, for we know that the Lord is spiritual, but I'm unspiritual. So as a slave to sin, I do not understand that which I do. That which I don't want to do, I continue to do. So if I do what I don't want to do, it's no longer I who do it, but it's sin, evil that lives in me. So if I continue to live in that route, I'm going to continue to do the things that I was doing.
And that goes with the frequency. If you keep drinking alcohol and you keep lowering your frequency, you're going to do those things. You're going to bring yourself in that lower vibration. You're going to let yourself be vulnerable to do those things, because the entities, the people, the things we can't see attach themselves
to. I got
to
tell you this too about weed, just to not, discount weed. I stopped smoking. I don't start smoking until after 420. 420 being the, time for weed. Because I was noticing that weed was just taking away my inhibition too. In the morning, I was like, after a workout, I'll fucking smoke a bone, and I'll be like, like almost tired. And I don't feel that way today. I mean, look, I'm not gonna bullshit you, but I got a ton of shit going on. But I'm still standing, bro. I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucking dart's hurt, but they're just bruises, bro.
Exactly. That's all. That's all it is. You're just going through a breakthrough. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a dark. You're gonna go through a dark night of the soul. Is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go through a dark night of the soul. A lot of people are actually. I've gone through it. A lot of people are gonna go through it. Let's see what Dolores says here.
That have never happened in the history of the universe are happening right now.
So what do you see this change as?
Well, they're extremely positive. We finally are getting our act together, and they're allowing things to move. The entire Earth is moving into another dimension. Another vibrations and frequencies of the whole Earth are changing to what's called the new Earth. And this is in the Bible, too, in the book of Revelation, when they talk about the new heaven and the new Earth. It's just that it's happening right now.
And what are these changes going to be once they've happened? I mean, is the economy part of the change?
Oh, economy won't matter at all.
Well, the collapse of the current economy, I mean, is this part of this big change that's going on?
You call it collapse, and we don't. It's at the world you're living in, okay. It all depends on what world you're focusing on.
What world are you focusing on?
The positive. My company is booming. I don't have any problems. See, it depends on what world do you live in.
Well,
but the old Earth is where all of these things will be left.
What happens if you don't want the change? What happens if you want to live in this old world?
You'll stay with what you have created.
So where are you going?
I'm going with what's beautiful and positive.
Okay, so there's not people aren't leaving the planet as such, but there is a conscious shift.
Planets. It's separating into two.
But I thought that's what you meant. Yeah.
The old Earth and the new Earth.
Not a physical separation.
Yes. But you won't notice anything has happened.
So are you talking about, like, for example, like a dimensional shift? Where some of us, we're not going to know the shift's happened.
Into another dimension. It's happening now. It started in 2003, and it's happening right now. We are moving into the new Earth. And people don't even notice. It's not going to just be bam and you're there. It's a gradual thing. It's been happening.
Do you think people are going to are finding, should I say, this change quite testing right now?
Well, you're going through a lot of things to see. Main thing is getting rid of the karma. You're going through a testing time. Do you want to stay with the old Earth? Do you want to stay on the wheel of karma? Or do you want to move on where there is no karma in the new Earth? and where it's beautiful and wonderful. Is that what you want to do?
But is no karma going to make us spiritually grow?
It's more spiritual than you can even ever imagine. And many, many people are moving there. They're moving into it right now.
Consciously or unconsciously?
They don't know it consciously. But in order to move, our vibrations and frequencies of our own bodies have to change to match that of the earth as it moves. See, the earth is a living being too, and it's moving into its next incarnation. It doesn't care if we go with it. Be just as happy if we didn't go with it. We're like fleas on a dog.
Well, do you know? Oh, that's you know, wow, that was an awakening for me. I didn't see that video before we started.
Yeah.
Man, when she said something that just fucking hit me in the face. My business is booming.
Yeah.
You know, I've allowed myself to get into a rut in a sense, you know, and that's a low vibration. We know that, you know, it's and if you're in a low vibration, your frequency is going to be low as well.
Yep.
So though I'm trying to move with the new earth, as I know it's there and I'm moving with it,
Yep.
but I'm lagging. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
get
moving with the new earth because I stay positive. I'm a firm believer you could be positive and not happy.
Yeah.
You know, I stay positive. You know, I just need to. The Bible says to fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of your faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I've taken my eyes off of my faith.
Yep.
And as a believer, I need to fix my eyes on that because that's the right direction. You know, again, the Bible speaks, because I quote the Bible. It says, you know, in all your ways, acknowledge him, but he'll direct thy path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I haven't in all my ways acknowledged him.
Mm-hmm.
I have not. You know what I mean? I've dealt with a little self-pity. I've dealt with some anger.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with some fucking real
ego. You got to work with
ego.
Yeah.
You know, shit that's going on in my life.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I don't know. I'm, you know, on the drive over, I was thinking, you know, and you know, the best description I could get right now is that I'm fucking lost, bro.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. That's part of the shift. Like she's saying, is like, you know, our bodies are changing. So we're having this feelings of anxiety. We're having these feelings of like, you know, uncertainty. You know, there's all these feelings coming along with this process that's happening because our world is different. I mean, think about where we were when we first met and to where we are today. You know, I walked into your shop at the other location on 17th Street, but no mask.
17th,
Yeah, no mask. You know, have to wear a mask, Eddie? No, come on in. You know, and now look where we're at. Look at everything that's happened since that time. I mean, look about what life was before I met you at 2020, and then like what life is today.
Yeah.
And that's because the frequencies of the planet are changed. Remember, she said this has been happening since 2003.
Right.
Like that video, that woman's dead. Dolores Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Dolores Cannon's dead. But if you watch that video right now, you think she's talking about today, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. And she wasn't. She was talking about like 5 years ago.
I gotta check her out.
She's gone now, but she's got lots of videos online, and I've listened to her many times. You know, and she saw what was coming. She's not here to see it physically, because she passed away. But you know, she believed that she was going to be here for it. But I say that too. You know,
a lot of things that she spoke about. She didn't mention Christianity, but she mentioned the Bible several times.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you, you know, just to show you some stuff that I looked up. So.
I'll do that other one.
Okay, so trying to find, here it is. In the book of Galatians, right, 2:20, right? Mm-hmm. It says like, so look at crucifixion as a death, right?
Yep.
Like it's a death, right? So it says, I have been crucified with Christ, and it's no longer I who live. So the old Eddie, because even in another scripture it says, for the old that's passed away, behold, in Christ you are a new creation. The old has passed away, the new you have become new.
Yep.
So this is just confirming that in the book of Galatians, where it says, I have been crucified, I have been dead, I killed, I'm dead with Christ.
Yep.
And I no longer live, again, dead,
Yep.
but Christ lives in me. So that's the new frequency. You're in that new earth, Christ
sense.
now lives in you. So if good lives in you, right?
Yep.
The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. So basically, that's just a little extra. But just going back to what we were talking about, if we could just allow that inner power, not look for it outside, because a lot of times we look through it through, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever it is that we look through it as, but that's outside of us. We need to find that inside.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, and myself included, I've always had this fucking hole inside of me. It's fucking deep as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets filled at times, but it get empty at times too.
And that's the generational trauma that you're dealing with.
And that's something else I was said in the first video, generational trauma.
Exactly.
Because it's so true.
Yeah.
And the Bible speaks about breaking that curse.
Exactly.
You have to break the curse, because it's a generational curse that's been going on for generations.
Yeah, that's it. Hundreds of years, thousands of years, really. It's really it. It's programming for thousands of years that we're transmuting because of that. Your mom, your mom's mom, and your dad's dad, and all the way back to you think about how bad they were programmed in all the world. Because now we know everything's a lie, all these wars,
I think we're even more worse now because of all the devices and all the media and everything else that we see.
Well, it's all about how you use it too. People are using AI to ask AI questions like, why are we here? Who are we? What is the new
I
Earth?
remember as a kid going to the reservation out in Puerto Rico, where we lived up in the mountains. It was, they didn't watch TV. They didn't listen to music. Well, they did listen to music throughout the middle of the day as they were cleaning, but they didn't do the TV and the other stuff. They did more of, work.
Yeah, no, living off the land and all that. Well, that's good. Well, that's going back to the new Earth too. That you're going to go back to what the Earth was before. That was the little remnants of what it was before. It was getting corrupted, obviously, as we went on in time and with the TV and the telephone
bullshit that came up.
But so that was barely having a left because we're really the last generation that knows what it's like to live without internet.
You know that before microwave, we used to have family dinners.
Well, of course. Well, but then they came out with the TV dinner and all that stuff. That was all by design too.
Before microwave, I remember we would sit down and eat dinner. My mom would cook and we had to sit down and eat.
Yeah, but they came out with
the microwave came out, come later and heat it up.
The Swanson's TV dinner. That was it. And then the TV came out.
VCRs, watch a movie. Stay inside, don't go outside.
Exactly. So now look where we're at. Now we're in a place where are we headed? Are we going to stay in that low frequency of the old Earth? I mean, this is what it comes down to. Here, get another one.
Itself is changing its vibration and its frequency to move into the new dimension. In order for us to go, our bodies have to change frequency and vibration in order to follow. You can't have it happen all at once. To change the frequency immediately would be too hard on the body and the body would be destroyed. So we're going in stages. We have to adapt as we go. This has been happening since about the year 2003. You feel it in your body with actual physical changes. Some people say they feel it with high blood pressure, heart palpitations, heart problems, especially the speeding up and slowing down like AFib of the heart, depression, dizziness. Sometimes you'll be dizzy for days and you won't understand what's causing it. Joint aches and pains. And this is general depression. These are the way the body is adjusting because everything has to adjust on a cellular level. It'll go on for a few days. You'll be uncomfortable. Then it'll level out. And maybe you'll go a month or two. Then it'll come back again. The same feelings as you adjust. People are going to the doctors and the doctors say there's nothing wrong with them. Of course, the doctor will put you on a pill anyway, but they can't find anything physically wrong with them.
Because our bodies have to change now. We have to change with it. you know, and that people don't, and a lot of people that don't understand the energy, frequency, and vibration don't understand what's going on with their body. They're like, why am I feeling like this? You know, why do I feel like my body's changing? I mean, look at like us, like we're not aging as much as we used to either. I don't think. I feel as good as I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Where's that shift at? Where's that change? Our bodies are shifting with the planet. Like the Bible says, we'll be the generation that defies death, right? We might, what kind of what is death? Like you explained, what is this? Are we physically dying, or are we taking our celestial bodies to the new earth, the new heaven? Our celestial bodies are going to go with it.
But remember, it's two separate things. Okay, so I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah,
there is two separate things. There's a new earth and a new heaven. They're not the same.
Yeah.
So the new earth is where those of us in a higher frequency, because as she said, it's just a shift. Like it's not like we're going to a different planet.
Exactly.
It's gonna feel that way.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna be that way. We're gonna be free.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna free of fear, free of all that. We're gonna be totally different.
Exactly.
Where people on the same planet per se will be living in depression, fear,
anxiety, guilt,
all that stuff.
All of it.
Well, we won't, because we'll be in a different frequency. And that's the point, and that's the goal. God speaks about in the Bible that we have to work to perfection, right? That we have to work to be perfect, to be like him, because Jesus was in that frequency, where he was one with the Creator. See, we're going to be one with the Creator, but on earth,
exactly.
Then when we die, we'll go to the new heaven.
Yes,
but the point, and we'll hit our celestial bodies.
Gotcha.
And I think that we'll see it in this lifetime, this new earth, because she said it's been happening since 2003. That's 22 years ago.
Exactly.
Now we know that God made the earth in 6 days. The 7th day He rests. So 22 years in the making of the new earth, and I pretty much got awake in 2019, and I want to welcome Rondell to the podcast.
Hey. I didn't see him walking in.
Welcome, Rondell, to the podcast.
What's up, bro?
That was good, bro.
Put your mic on. There you go.
It's a long day.
I dig it, bro.
Jeez.
It's fucking
It's a long day.
We got a lot going on.
Wait for the audience. Good to see you.
Hey, everybody. What's good?
So we've been talking about the new earth, and like I don't know if he sent you the video or anything, but we've been holding on to a really good video that we want you to see that'll pretty much describe everything. I got a bunch of scriptures that I want to throw at it.
Yeah.
We just been putting this out about the new earth and the frequency and how we're going to get there. And, he put out some really good videos that you could catch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is that, those of us, like, I remember Rondell, this was years ago when we were working together at Bev. He would talk to me about things, and I was so preoccupied with, because I was just, I was a top sales guy. I give myself a fucking pat on the back.
Best of the best.
That I was, fucking narcissist that I am.
Right.
But anyway, truth of it is that when he would come to me and talk to me about things like, yo, Ed, like, what do you think about this frequency? And I was like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? Because he loved me. He was trying to give me a heads up because he's like a son to me, I told you. And, so it was like, Dell, let me go sell a car, bro.
Let's go make some money.
Let's go make some money, bro. What the fuck you talking about? We'll go out and smoke a bowl, walk around the lot, smoke a bowl, and he starts talking about this frequency and stuff. I'm trying to catch it up, you know what I mean? I'm trying to catch me somebody to talk to so I can sell a car. True story, bro, I swear to God. But the point is that, it's been coming to me forever. I always felt like a fucking square peg in a round hole. Yeah. I never really fit in, like when I was in crowds and all that. That's how I'm not really like a social person. I don't like crowds too much, so I never felt I fit in. I always felt like I was at a place.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Not that I felt better than, because I never did. I really didn't. Actually, I might have felt less than. You know what I mean? To be 100,
Yeah.
Always wanted to be that weird person.
Yeah, well, I wasn't trying to be weird. No, I wasn't. I was trying to blend in, and I guess because I don't know. I just didn't. And that will frustrate the fuck out of me, dude.
Yeah.
And I just like, I'm not a quitter, but I just don't fuck with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a friend, one of his jokes used to be, I strive to be average. And it's like, who really strives to be average?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Who? Nobody.
Yeah, right.
So everybody knows it's a joke when you say it.
Yeah.
So like, we used to say that shit all the time. Like, I strive to be average.
Yeah,
like it was a
yeah.
joke between us.
Yeah.
And we would all just laugh at it. But nobody in my entire career, you never see one normal person. Like everybody had their own little style. Nobody dressed alike.
What is normal?
There's
Right.
no normal.
There's no
Can you be you
Yeah.
around? You know what we used to tell friends as another joke? You're already in the car.
Yeah.
You're already in the car.
Mm.
You ain't got to flex with us.
Mm-mm.
You're already in the car.
No.
You're accepted.
Exactly.
You ain't got to do no flexing for us.
Exactly.
None of that. You're
Yeah.
accepted. You're in the car with us already.
Yeah.
And people used to be like, why y'all say that? You're already in the car.
You're already there.
You know,
You think it you are.
do you
Yeah.
remember the movie Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One of the best things about that movie, and why I always remember that movie, was because of something that she said. She said these were misfit students.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I'm going to give you all an A. You don't have to earn it.
Mhm.
Just keep it.
Yeah. That's
And you know that I've lived my life
that's
that
you.
way.
Yeah. You have. You told
You
me
know,
that
I
a long
always
time
told you
ago.
that, right,
Yeah.
John?
Oh yeah.
I'm like that with people. I give everybody an A.
Yeah.
I like you off from jump.
Yeah.
You don't have to earn it with me. Just fucking keep it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's hard for people to do. I think it's harder to keep an A than it is to earn one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is true.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That makes sense though.
I mean, you got the A. Keep that motherfucker
Keep it.
now.
Yeah, right,
You
yeah.
passed.
Yeah. Right.
You know, you fucking,
It's up to
you know,
you.
you got a fucking 4.0, you know, GPA. That's
Right.
fucking great, you know. But what happens? You
Thing.
slap.
Yep.
I got the A already, you know. I'm already good, you know.
Already took
Now
care
it
of
goes
it.
down to a fucking B, you know.
Yeah.
I'm still good. I'm still passing, you know.
That's still good.
Gets to a C, you try to fix it, you know, try to get it back to a B, you know, but it's kind of hard at that point because you already got a C and you're getting ready to hit that D,
Yep.
you know, and then, you know, it's fucked up, but that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. And that's just life, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt at least, you know, I you know, and you know that, John, you know,
Yeah.
man, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, again, it's a different time now, different frequency, different scenarios.
And that's
So, yeah.
what it is.
It's different.
If we're in a
Yeah.
different vibration, I
Yeah.
notice that even with people that I've trained, if we're in a different vibration, like the chemistry
It doesn't
won't
click.
be there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. And and it's more polarized now than it ever has been. Like she said, it started in 2003, but here we are all these years later, and it's way more polarized now. You can see the
You know, I'm still trying to think, what was I doing in 2003?
right.
I know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Josh was 11 years old.
Yeah. So the thing about it's been going on that long, and it's the separation between the wheat and the chaff, right? The
Yeah.
separation between the two. It's the same thing. It's what we're living right now. We're living it. Rondell sees it. It's in the matrix and the job now that he's in the job now than he was before. You know, we all see it in those scenarios now too. We look at people in a different frame. We don't judge them. We can just see, like, you know, you're already in the car, like you said. We already know what your frequency is.
But you want to
I
know
already know
something?
what I'm dealing with here, so it's easy to navigate it.
It's funny when I go to the dealership, you know, to go visit Josh, and I see Randall, 'cause his office is right next to Josh's. You know, I say, he just seems different.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like everybody else. It's like,
Exactly.
you know, that he's part of the ship, you know, part like in the Matrix.
Yeah.
He's part of the ship. You know, he's
Exactly.
part of the crew.
Everybody in there knows.
Yeah,
You know, that
it's
he's
true though.
fucking
That's
plugged.
what it is.
You know
They
what I was
joke about
thinking
it. They
would be a
call me
cool
the Tin
tattoo?
Hat Man.
Hey,
That makes
you know what I
sense.
was
Yeah,
thinking?
that makes
John,
sense. Yeah.
You know, it'd be a cool tattoo. Remember the way they had that thing in the back?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Fucking like make it like
Make it,
3D.
oh, that would hurt.
shit.
Yeah.
That would hurt though back there to get.
No,
that.
I got tattoos back there already. I got that fucking dream.
I couldn't do it.
But I would fucking do it right there, like if I was fucking unplugged for real. What do you think?
That's a great idea.
I may fucking do it, bro. I've been feeling crazy
Right.
lately, bro.
I've seen people with them. You would ask. That should be crazy.
Right? Yeah, that would be.
And it looks so
I'm gonna
crazy
look
how
into
the
that
fucking it
motherfucker.
looked like
Watch.
real metal on their
I'll be
neck.
showing it on the show, bro.
Right.
You know
Oh
what I
my
said?
God.
I'm gonna try to fucking do
Oh,
it.
you know what's funny?
What?
So I was at hockey on Saturday, or was it Sunday? Sunday, and was getting dressed, and
We need more than one lighter.
there you go. Okay, now was getting dressed, and after the game, I went and said, you know, was showing another goalie what, you know, some of the moves that he was doing, and these two girls that play on the team, I guess they're sisters. They played on a team, really, really good college hockey. These girls that play college ice hockey. The one girl looks at my tattoo and she goes, "I got that tattoo, my TGI Now tattoo." She goes, "I got that. I got that tattoo." And I go, "No, you don't." And she pulls up her thing like this, and she had it, but it was decorated with like flowers and stuff.
Right.
But it was the same design, but she had it. But she had it all changed. She had to take a picture with me. She was like, "We got to take a picture." And I was like, "Oh, that's too funny." She's like, "I never saw one of those out in the wild before."
Yeah,
She's like, "Well, yeah,
that's crazy to have.
I got
that
mine on my neck.
yeah, yeah." Like, because not many people have this tattoo. Obviously,
no, we got that because
but she didn't have the exact same one. Hers was decorated, but
Right.
it was the symbol built into her
Yeah,
decoration.
it's now, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what it means. It's now.
Yeah. It's
You know,
fucking
because we live
crazy.
in the
Dude.
now.
Yeah, I was like, "Holy shit, man!" She's like, "Oh, that's crazy." And I gave her one of our stickers.
That's cool.
Yeah, I gave him some stickers and stuff because I had them on me in the car.
So if she's listening, hey,
Yeah,
what's
right. Yeah, I told her. Yeah, I told her check it out. Yeah, check out our podcast.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though. Let's give Caps a shout out. They're back from vacation,
Bro, hell yeah. Let me tell you something. I took a picture of that fucking sub, bro.
right?
Holy shit. Bro, they gave me a chicken palm like I had requested. Bro, fucking delish, full of cheese. Fucking the chicken was diced up.
They don't.
It wasn't like one big piece of chicken. It was nice fucking chicken, bro.
Nice and crispy. Nice and
Bro,
crispy
you seen
too.
it, right? I was enjoying
I
that
get that one all the
motherfucker.
time, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the pizza's always good, man. I love
Yeah.
that pizza, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you guys are ever in Caps in town, man, they're out by 27th and Oslo. Make sure you guys check them out, man. They're a really good spot to go to, you know. I mean, it's a chill spot. You know, they got fucking Pac-Man. They got a party room. It's a family-owned business, you know. Their sister just opened up a spot, you know, Nikki's Place,
Yeah.
you know, out by me. So they're more south. So Caps is a little north. So you got north and south of
Right.
Caps Pizza pretty
Yeah,
much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I remember Caps when I first got here 22 years ago, man.
Yeah. Back when the New Earth started.
Bro, you know, bullshit. I've been here 24 years.
I know.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, and I went to Caps, bro. He was
That's
fucking
funny.
serving pizza, dude.
That's so funny.
And look, and now they've
Right.
been sponsoring our show for 4 years.
Yeah. And then
Thanks, John.
they also have music coming too. Let
Nice.
me pull that up for them as well. Right here, they're getting music on Saturday nights too, so I have to pull that up. And then yeah, let me pull that up. But they're doing music, live music on Saturday nights now too.
Cool,
Yeah,
man. So check them out. John, if they need to go, if they need to place an order, how can they do that?
give them
man?
a call 772-770-CAPS. Knocking out pizza since 1987. Tell them TGI Now sent you. Here's the music flyer for that.
Oh, nice. Put
So
that up.
Caps Pizza presents live music, special
Nice.
performance, Rhythm and Sky, Sunday,
Cool.
July 6th, 4 to 7.
Nice.
Check it out. Happy hour, 4 to 7, $2 domestic draft. Buy one, get one half off. You can't beat that. That's a pretty good deal. If I was drinking,
I'll
I'd be
be
like,
on the
damn.
boat the 4th of July.
I mean, this is the 6th of July.
No, but I'll be on the boat the 4th, just
The 4th,
chilling.
yeah.
I'll see some good
So
fireworks.
check it out.
there.
Caps has got some music coming up. So check them out. And then also, I want to give a shout out to Ronnie at Al's Automotive. Ronnie took care of me on my AC. Fucking took that. He mentioned he saw the podcast I did with Caps Pizza.
Oh, nice.
He's like, I saw a podcast. Didn't you do a podcast at Caps Pizza sitting in the booth? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I thought that was you. And I said, well, I have another podcast too at TGI Now. I said, I'll give you a shout out. I said, I'll give you a shout out. So he's like, yeah, I need the word of mouth. So if you need AC repair, Ronnie's the guy, dude. The guy knocked it out. I took it there yesterday, late afternoon. He had it in there first thing this morning. I had it done by 2:00 today, dude.
Good.
It was like
That's awesome,
quick,
man.
fast, and very good price, fair. And it was referred to me by Deborah at Country Kitchen too. Deborah,
Nice. So Country Kitchen's another nice place. I mean, we got some nice places here in town.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
You know, I'll probably keep the business here, but I'm definitely leaving, girl.
yeah. So, and also, if you want to, I got the link down at the bottom too. Blackout Coffee. if you want to get your coffee, use our link, and you can get yourself some blackout coffee. I'll put the link in the bottom there. There's the link right there. Hit click on the link. Get you some coffee, blackout coffee. Got cold brew. Got all kinds of stuff. So check them out. Put that in the link at the bottom there. We appreciate it. Appreciate you supporting the show.
Yeah, make sure you guys share the show if you can. You know, we always appreciate you guys share and subscribe to the show. You know, our show is like I said, man. We pretty much, you know, we talk about different topics. It's not always all political. You know, we get involved with the politics because that's what we're dealing with. But the truth of it is, we're dealing with something deeper, and that's what we're talking about today. You know, when we talk about the new Earth and everything else. Play that video. That's a really good video.
Yeah,
it's a little long, guys, but bear with us.
It's 4 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a good overview of what we're talking about. If you're new to this topic,
it, I thought it was good. I got some scripture on it too.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Look at that. And Rondell can watch it while he's rolling. Rolling.
What if I told you the new Earth isn't a place we're waiting for? It's not in the future. It's not in the sky. It's you. And the moment you remember that, everything changes. Welcome to Vortex Tribe, where we journey into the heart of consciousness, energy, and universal truths. The old Earth is crumbling.
Damn.
You feel it, don't you? Systems breaking, structures failing, relationships collapsing. The 9-to-5 grind feels hollow. The news, noise, the world you were taught to fit into is dying. But here's the plot twist. That's not bad news. That's the initiation. Because for something new to rise, the old must fall. And that's exactly what's happening. The new Earth is not a destination. It's a frequency. The new Earth isn't on a map. It's not a country. It's not a movement. It's a vibration, a state of being. It's when you unplug from fear and tune into love, when you stop outsourcing your worth and remember you are source. It's when your nervous system finally whispers, "We're safe now, we're home." You are the portal. Here's the truth that no one told you in school. You're not here to find your purpose. You are the purpose. You're not just here to watch the shift. You are the shift. Every time you choose presence over panic, kindness over judgment, integrity over illusion, you are anchoring the frequency of the new Earth. You are remembering who you've always been. And just by being that version of you, you activate others without trying. The signs you're already building the new Earth. Let's make this real. You feel more connected to nature than to the news. You crave depth, truth, soul family, not small talk. You're questioning everything: school, money, love, power, and realizing none of it works without consciousness. You're healing generational trauma, breaking cycles your ancestors couldn't. You're building sacred relationships, raising awakened kids, and designing life around your energy, not society's calendar. That's the new Earth in motion, and you're the architect. Hitting the like button helps me more than you know. The timeline split. Right now, there are two timelines. One is fear, control, division. The other is unity, intuition, embodiment. Most people are asleep on the first one, but you feel the tug of the second. You didn't come here just to cope. You came to co-create. So when people say, "You've changed," or "You're different now," smile. That's the whole point. You're not crazy. You're just ahead of schedule. You are the Earth awakening itself. What if the Earth isn't something outside you, but something becoming conscious through you? Every breath you take, every boundary you set, every limiting belief you transmute is Gaia herself, evolving through your body, your heart, your hands. The new Earth doesn't arrive in a spaceship. It arrives in you. And if you're watching this, it's because you're ready. Subscribe for more.
There you go.
So it goes back to what I was saying before about how Christ lives in you. It's in you already.
Mm-hmm.
It's in us. If we allow the outside forces and we just let them penetrate.
Yep. And that's why Dolores Cannon said that when we get here, we forget who we are. We come here with amnesia. So we choose to be here, but we choose to forget first that we are those powerful beings. But now we're remembering. See what I'm saying? That's why she says that.
You know, it's funny you just said that too. Christ says that when he ascends, that we'll have more power than he does.
Mm-hmm. I read that this morning in John. It was
You
in
did?
John. Yeah, I read it this morning. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was reading it this morning.
Yes, that's a confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but that's real. That's 100, bro.
Yeah.
I totally agree, man.
Yeah, that's what she means by that. That's the whole point with that. That's crazy. It's a good video. Yeah, I pulled that up earlier today. I'm just doing some little research, but. We back. Sorry about that. We had a little
so that's AT&T, guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Trump was bitching about AT&T the other day.
Yeah, so we lost y'all. Come back.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I just think that we need to focus more on what's going on within ourselves, man. You know, and not focus so much on what's going on outside because it's only a big distraction, and you tend not to focus on yourself because you're distracted by the things of the world. She has said that too. Like, remember when he asked a question about, okay, well, is it two different worlds? And she says, no, because you're of this, like you belong to this world. I belong to this one.
Yeah.
And in the Bible, it says that we're no longer of this world, you know, that we can't belong to this world.
Exactly.
So by not letting go, like you said back in September 25th, 2 years ago, by not letting go of the old earth, you're kind of stuck there.
You're stuck, yeah.
You know, because I mean, we chose to come to the new earth way before. But what I'm saying is that because the new earth has been being prepared since 2003, we jumped in 2018 to 2020, you know.
So, yeah, because a lot of people got activated during that time, you know, and that's when we met. A lot of the people in our circle now that we didn't know before 2020, we met. So we were activated to meet each other, to come together. Like we said, the Hopi prophecy. Many different creeds, colors, and classes will come together. That's us three. That describes us in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is. It really is.
And that was an intention, not even knowing that.
Exactly.
My whole point was just to have three different generations, three different races, just to have three different opinions to show the same thing.
And I started to realize that when I was like, well, yeah, like I didn't know Rondell, and he's, you know, I'm like, I didn't know Eddie. I'm like, wait a minute, like, how did this all come together? How did we all get together to do a podcast? Like, because we were activated to do it for a reason, to help raise the frequency of the planet, to help with the awakening of our little town too, because Arndell's got his community where people are going to go to him when things get crazy, the shit hits the fan, and when the real shit goes down, the political shit. Because we know it's biblical, but it's going to be political on the surface.
Well, remember,
he's going to have to answer questions.
What was our topic last year?
It was the biblical, yeah.
It's gonna be biblical.
yeah. And that's where Rondell will have to. People will be like, "What's going on, Rondell?" I'll be like, "Just settle down. It's all good. The shit's going down. All the crap's crumbling. It's all going to be good." He's going to be able to calm that part of his community.
They have a box of glasses with him.
Yeah. But that's what
the shades on. You'll be all
put
right.
the shades on, you'll be all right. You can see.
Exactly. That's what it's going to come
Like
down
they
to.
live, you know?
That's what. And then when you're in your circle, in my circle, everybody's circle, the people who listen to this podcast, they'll be like, "Well, remember when John said that? That was him. Remember when Eddie said that?" You know, the people, it clicks with them. They'll remember that we said these things, and when the shit does happen, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, they said this was going to happen. Like that's really going down now." You know, like the 2020 election. Like eventually, that's going to come to the surface that was stolen. The auto pen. People are going to be like, "Holy shit!" Like they were right. Like Biden was never president in the first place. Not that we're prophets, but we just seen it because we put the glasses on and we were like, "Wait a minute, this guy can't be president. Like, how's it even possible? He's even running the show. There's no way." And then people started to see it. Like, this is not real. This is all bullshit. We're being played. We're being messed up. We're being played. We're being reverse psychologically manipulated. It's a reverse psyop. What do you have there later? You should have two over there. What the hell?
Yeah, now he got two.
I ain't got one.
I ain't got one.
Sorry, bro. Okay. My bad.
Looking up.
I was like, damn, what's he doing?
I'm fucking half blind in my left eye.
I'm like, what's that? It's all that gabapentin.
No, I'm fucking gabapentin, bro. Well, I gave gabapentin. It's fucking 3 years ago. No, it's every 4 years now. I'm a fucking gabapentin.
You got to heal your brain now.
No, that gabapentin was fucked up. That shit had me. I thought I was losing my mind,
right?
Bro.
Jesus.
But they had me on 6 of those fucking 300 milligram motherfuckers.
That's crazy,
bro. I was fucking zoned out,
bro.
Bro.
To feel shit.
That's crazy.
I ain't feel. I was numb to life, bro.
Right. That's crazy.
I was having to take pictures of stock numbers, dude. I couldn't remember 4 numbers, man, from a car to the fucking desk. I had to take pictures of stock numbers. I was fucked up, bro. Oh man. It's when I got off of that gabapentin and started, just doing cannabis. You remember that we said, let's go work out. And I mean,
well, cannabinoids needed to start firing again.
Boy,
they were dead. The cannabinoids were dead. They were lethargic.
And what he's talking about is actually the endocannabinoid system, which is fucked up. That I tell you that Florida is fucking up these rules because they're getting bought out. Because DeSantis, he vetoed it, but DeSantis is out. So fucking, these fucking politicians just went over his head and fucking went with these fucking big ass fucking
big pharma,
but they're weed companies running like big pharma, and they want to shut down the little guy.
Exactly.
Well, I'll sell something else, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna go fucking run into the Matrix.
Yeah.
So wait, they shut down CBD and everything?
Well, what they did is that they changed the laws, though.
Yeah.
They fucking like THCA. I can't sell flour anymore. I can't, a lot of shit, man. And then the gummies, if they have artificial flavoring or if they're different colors, all kinds of shit. But I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Basically, what they're doing is just shutting us down.
Yeah.
This way they can sell it.
Yeah.
Because True Leaf will have it now. True Leaf will have CBD and they'll have all that shit. They don't sell a lot of it now because we sell it. You don't need a card for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's kind of fucked up. But I went into a risky business. A business that was always federally illegal.
It wasn't risky when you first got into it.
When I was making money.
They fucked. Yeah, they fucked it every
30 grand a month.
Every year they were fucking it up. Every year they were making it worse and worse and worse. Every year they were pulling something out. And that's what really came down to. Because it's funny how like it was legal. It was Delta 8 was legal, right? It's in the hemp bill. The farm bill, and then all of a sudden all these other ones started to come out along behind it, and that's what really fucked it all up. Yeah,
and then they actually giving you D9.
Yeah, THCA. Once people found that THCA was in the hemp bill, then they were like, oh, well, we can sell that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and that's what made it. That's what changed everything.
Well,
I knew
THCA is cannabis, is bud.
Yeah,
it's D9. It's just premature.
It's premature. It's a shorter high. It's not as strong, and it still works. It's still good.
It's
still good.
People liked it.
I like it.
But the whole point is that why shut us down? We had to get a permit. We have to pay taxes. We have to do all this shit. there's a sales tax on it. There's not a sales tax in medical weed.
Mhm.
There's a sales tax on it. You're getting your back. You're getting your money. What the fuck? So maybe I get into protein powders and vitamins. I know enough about fitness that I could do that. And I'll just fucking.
Well, you can still sell your roll-ons and your pain your pain things and all those. I mean, you can sell those, and you can sell this, the CBD and the CBN and all those. I mean,
so I'm just gonna. I don't know.
I'm gonna figure something out. We'll figure.
What was the name of that show? Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Hey, that's that fucking show.
Yeah, I remember.
It was black and white.
Space. Yeah.
Showing you guys my age.
Yeah, well, it's something's shifting. So I mean, whether it's.
Well, remember, do you recall a few years ago we even made a show about it? I have a lot going on.
Yep.
Do you remember that thing? So that's when I first opened up the juice bar.
Yep.
You guys remember, and I had the gym, and man, things were really crushing down on me. And that's when I met Miss Ashley, and she decided to take over the juice bar, and I started getting clients in the back. And then you and I and Kelly said, let's just work out. Let's just use the fucking gym. And then James was my first client.
Yep.
Then from there, someone else came, this guy, Danny. And, it was kind of cool. It started becoming something. Then I got certified, and I just, I got really into it, And,
that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be leading people into the new earth, but getting their bodies ready. Remember, she talks about the body. The body has to be ready. I told you that. So that's why you're doing it. You're helping people get their bodies right for what's coming, because they wouldn't be able to. People lose weight. They feel better. Now that's the whole point. You have to lighten your load. I tell people that all the time. Like, if you're going to go ascend with this whole process, you have to lighten your load. You have you have to stop eating the shit and and all the other stuff that goes along with it.
It's true, man. Because the obesity in this country is outrageous.
It's outrageous.
Bro.
It's insane. It's
it
absolutely
like
insane.
That back in the day, bro.
No, it's nuts. It's nuts, man.
You got another blunt?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's people are just huge now because of all the shit that's in the food, So part of the reason why they're like saying they're taking the food coloring out of the gummies and all that is to be, for safety reasons too. But there's way worse shit out there than watermelon flavored looking gummies. That's what's so fucked up. I know, I get it, but there's people stuffing their face with Doritos.
What it is that they're just pouring a lot of money into it.
Yeah, of
course.
They
could shut us down.
Yeah. There's so many smoke shops, dude. When I go down to Kelly's house, but
they sell CBD in fucking grocery stores.
On Commercial Boulevard, there's literally like from US 1 to the beach, there's got to be like 15 smoke shops on one road.
And they all sell CBD, THCA.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna shut a lot of people down, and
because a lot of these stores.
Think about the money it costs. No, not even that. Think about the money it costs to shut people down. You got to send out agents. You got to send out all
not just that. The stuff that they're making people take off the shelves too. Like they're going to lose on that. Lose all the profit. That one smoke shop called Mr. Smokes, which has like eight or nine locations in Port St. Lucie and Stewart, all that. They were taking all their shit off the shelves that they knew they were going to come take off anyway. So they lost all that money on all that inventory, whatever the fuck they're going to do with that.
And that happened locally. I won't mention their shop, but it happened locally.
Yeah, that's money. That's inventory that you already paid for. What are you going to do? Like, I already paid for that. Like, well, why are you taking it? Like, that's no good.
And there's no returns on that fucking.
No. Yeah, that's it. You're done. That's
why I've kept my stuff kind of limited. I have very little product today because I've been more focused on the gym anyway. I just have to find.
You'll find it. Just like you found the gym. I mean, remember you weren't planning on.
We need some DMT, man.
Yeah, right. You weren't planning on doing the gym. You weren't planning on doing that. So that's why you have. So that's why you said like whatever's going to be up front. You already know what it is. You just haven't done it yet. It's already there. You've already put it out there to decide what you're going to do there, and it's going to come to fruition. You're going to be like, yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that makes total sense. Why did I think of that? And like, oh shit, that makes sense.
That's the point that I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Even, like once she took over the juice bar and the gym and everything, it started flowing again. My money started coming up. I was in a higher frequency. I was in a great mood all the time.
Yeah.
It was great, and then
Now you're down.
so it's a valley, and I guess we all go through valleys. That's just part of life, up and down like a fucking roller coaster. It just, it's just when you're hitting the fucking low peaks of a valley, you're like, oh fuck, I gotta climb this fucking mountain again. Did I do this a few times again? Yeah. Because it's fucking fat, dude. But you gotta climb. You can't stay down in the fucking valley. No, you can't because you'll fucking rot, bro. You'll die. Yeah. There's no substance down there.
No.
There's nothing down there. So you need to fucking lift yourself up and start climbing. Being that you still have your strength. Don't stay down there too long. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm fucking climbing. Yeah. I'm climbing back up on my fucking mountain.
That makes sense.
I hit a low peak and it's time for me to fucking and it's not so much about, yes, business has been fucking lousy. But I just have to I think a lot of it has to do with attitude, frequency, just to get back to, what is it that you're putting out?
Exactly. Yep.
What is it that you're receiving?
That's a huge part of it. That's huge. You have to be able to put out, whatever you put out, you're going to get back. So you have to watch what you put out there. And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, that's I've learned that lesson many times over. I can tell you that, and we still keep learning because that's what, like Dolores Cannon said, we're always learning. We're always this earth is a school. So we're always listening. We're always learning. We're always figuring things out. That's why you said you're going through your ups and downs. It's the same thing.
But we all are. I mean,
absolutely.
We all are going through ups and downs. It's just a matter of, right now we're talking, it's a show something talking about me, but the point is that there are people out there right now going through it too.
Absolutely.
And worse.
Absolutely. Oh,
and worse.
Time,
I mean, these are considered Cadillac problems for many people.
Absolutely.
I drive down US1, I see, homeless people with shopping carts and fucking young people, I'm thinking, fuck, man, I'm in, my situation is nothing, compared to them. They're in bad spots. You got people who are just fucking inner evil. Sure. You know what I mean? They just fucked up. You know what I mean? Shit, feel bad for them. You know what I mean? Shit, I'm just going through a state. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and it's just part of my journey. Because, remember, the mountain that I climb, what is it going to do? Yeah. It's only going to make me fucking stronger. Yeah. Because as you climb that mountain, you got to use muscle.
That's right.
Huh? Yeah. So as you use your muscle, you're going to get stronger. So that mountain, once I get to the top of that motherfucking mountain, I'm going to be a fucking king, bro. I'll be strong as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But that's fact.
Yeah.
That's fact.
That's fact, bro.
That's being 100, bro, because it's the truth. Because if you stay down, bro, I mean, it's easy to stay in the fucking dump, bro. It's so comfortable down there, bro. Yeah. Oh, shit, you can just fucking lay down and just chill, bro. But, you got to fucking pick yourself back up, man.
That's it. That's all it comes down to. Just like Rocky said, not how hard you get hit, right?
Yeah.
It's how hard you get back up and keep on moving. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, man. That's it. That's it. Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
Oh yeah, it's been over an hour.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Rondo got here a little late.
Yeah, Rondo got here a little
late. It's all right.
Plug into the matrix. Forgot to unplug.
Damn customer.
I'm gonna do that fucking
he tried to leave it. He had the plug still in there.
Think about that tattoo. I'm serious.
That's crazy. That'd be wild.
I mean, I got no job interviews to go to, bro. I'll be 63 in a couple of months, bro. I don't give a fuck.
It's pretty funny. It's a good idea, actually.
All right, man. God bless you. Enjoy the show.
Wait, hold on. What are you doing?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I'm going to close it out with this video. Hold on.
Okay, my bad. Forgive me.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. It's all right.
I've been saying that a lot lately. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
It's all right.
I'm a sorry ass motherfucker.
No, you're good. Don't be saying that. Relax.
There is a point. Is there a point to all this? Let's find a point. Is this real, versus just ride? The world is like a ride. You think it's real, it's just a ride. one. It's only a choice between fear and love. The world is like a ride. You think it's real, just a run. We can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. Life goes up and down, round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored. Up and down, round and round, and it's very loud. Don't worry, don't be afraid, it's just a ride. And we can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. Why are we here?
I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. No, I call it the big electron. The big electron. The big electron. It doesn't punish, doesn't reward, it doesn't judge at all. It just is, and so are we. For a little while, the ride goes up and down, round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored. Up and down, round and round, and it's very loud. Don't worry, don't be afraid, it's just a ride. And we can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. The big electron. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. The big electron. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. It doesn't punish, doesn't reward, it doesn't judge at all. It just is, and so are we. For a little while.
There you go.
That's pretty deep. That's pretty cool. That song.
Right? Bill Hicks is awesome, dude. If you ever watch any of his comedy shows, the guy that says it's just a ride, he does a whole show. I think it's called the Rapture. This is the last show.
I gotta check it out. Yeah.
I think I did see the Rapture.
I've been watching a lot of TV.
The last one he did. Yeah, I think it's called the Rapture. It's fucking great, dude. He's so deep, dude. It's awesome.
That works, man.
Yeah, I came across this years ago.
But listen, guys, thanks for listening. Love y'all. God bless. Have a great day, man. Make sure you guys share and subscribe to the show, man. And thanks, Caps Pizza. We appreciate you, John.
Always.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Stay human.
Love, peace, chicken grease, baby. We out.
We out.